You are about to experience the result of hard work and dedication from the City of Champions, Cleveland's own, 90th's finest. Self-made, hard-working entrepreneurs, unequivocally raw, no holds barred. This is Epiphany Media.
Yo.
Hello, good people.
It's been a couple of weeks, but welcome back to another new, fresh episode of the Epiphany Media podcast. Uh, it's been a couple of weeks. Trying to.
It will definitely be worth it for you guys today. I hope so, because this is going to be a gloomy discussion. I mean, well, it could be a bright discussion, informative discussion, but same, like, it'll still be gloomy just because of the subject matter.
Yeah. It would be better off if the Browns lost because that just makes shit easier. You know what I'm saying? But the Browns actually won, so I can't hate on that. And yeah, man, we appreciate y'all joining us. Once again, we'll find out if we're actually live. It says that we're live, but I don't see us being live. Okay.
Sean Watson got them, got that 700 days without playing jitters off. I mean, he was rusty, but you've seen flashes of what he can do. What the offense was lacking from the quarterback position. Hey, Jacoby could have came in today and probably scored these 2-3 touchdowns. To be honest with you.
Yeah. They couldn't have happened to a better team to get the jitters out, So that'd be good, you know what I'm saying? But it would have been nice. Good thing our defense actually came to play. It's 2 weeks in a row that the defense came to play, and that's 2 victories. What do you know?
Mm-hmm.
What do you know?
Joe Wood survived another week being a defensive coordinator for the Cleveland Browns.
Absolutely. Angel said, dying? Yeah, death and dying. Death at the funeral. Before we get into the topic, though, as you guys know, Spotify and all these different companies do their end of the year wrap up. And, if you got Spotify, they'll tell you, what's your most, your 5 most popular artists or your, the song that you listen to the most or whatever. And just like with anything else, podcast or whatever, you get a wrapped up too, a year wrapped up too. So I just want to go over our numbers with you guys because it's been another great year as we wind down. It's the 4th of December. Shout out to Jay-Z and his birthday. Signed us to Rock Nation. So yeah, I just want to go over these numbers with you guys. So it says we created 1,886 minutes of new content this year. Which that sounds like a pretty decent amount of content. It says that it's 92% more than any other creators in the comedy talk category. Now, I don't know how that's possible. 92% more than the next person. I don't know how that's possible. I'm not going to argue with it, though.
That's consistency, so it may be possible.
I'm not going to argue with it. The why would the numbers lie? Numbers never lie. You know what I'm saying? But 82% in the talk comedy category. And again, this is Spotify's wrapped up. So if you listen on Apple Podcasts or something like that, or those podcasts who are specifically on those platforms, maybe the numbers don't add up or whatever. I'm gonna take it. 1,800 new minutes of content is pretty good. However you slice it. Even though I did find out that this is our our lowest number of shows we've done since we've been back doing shows as Epiphany Media. 52 weeks in a year. We've done 26 shows this year. This is our lowest number of shows we've done. So that vacationing in the summertime and stuff, it catches up with us, I suppose. You wanna take a guess?
We're still in the top 8% though.
Yeah, which is crazy. It was crazy. You want to take a guess at our most played podcast this year? I can give you some choices if you want them. So
our episodes that happened this year.
So let me see. Angel, you listen to every episode. You want to guess which one you think is our most listened to podcast this year? Byron, you got to guess. Oh, I'm gonna give y'all the options, and then y'all can take your guess from there. So we got episode 125. Are Black women bitter about interracial dating?
Of course, a controversial topic. Got to be the most listened to episode.
That's 125. Episode 159. Which
we really talked about that? Hold on. I don't even remember talking about that.
Absolutely. It was crickets from our audience because nobody wanted to say nothing and get canceled. Episode 159, Scary Outside. We talked about the community and, just wild stuff that goes on in Cleveland and around the country. Or episode 161, which is Passion versus Skill. Passion versus Skill. So those are the three options. And I'm interested what you guys think is our most played podcast.
Yeah, I do remember Scary Outside. That was good content. And it's very relevant to what's going on today. But if I'm going to go off the dramatic topic, I would say the interracial show.
Okay. Angel said the same thing. She said the first one. She said her Black women bitter about interracial dating. Both. That was number 5 though, so it was up there. Scary Outside was number 2, and Passion vs. Skill was our number 1 listened to podcast this year. One we did a couple weeks ago, just talking about careers and is it better or not? Is it better? But are you working in something that you're passionate about doing, or are you working in something that you just happen to be good at, even if you don't like doing it? So that was our number 1 listen to podcast this year. So that's cool. We were in a bunch of a bunch of countries this year. U.S. of course is going to be number 1. Germany, Ireland, and the Ukraine, believe it or not, are our top. Well, I guess we 4 after the United States, but so Germany, Ireland, and Ukraine are our top countries.
If you're in the Bears, if you're in the foxhole, we appreciate you listening. Stay safe.
Hey, this is a little bit of an escape from what I was currently going through. We wish y'all to be safe for sure. We had a bunch of other countries. The percentage dropped down. We had the UK on there for a little bit. Brazil was on there for a little bit. As far as the Netherlands, Australia, we even had a couple of Israel, a couple listeners from Israel and Taiwan, you know what I'm saying? So
that's crazy to me.
That's crazy.
That we got that kind of reach.
So even no matter how much they listen, the fact that it shows up on this list means at least 10 people listen throughout the year. Taiwan, Poland, Belgium, Greece, Canada kind of makes sense. Brazil, that's kind of crazy when you think about it. To me, I guess.
But you got countries that's not even English isn't their first language.
Right. Exactly.
But Ireland been around since we started back.
Yeah, Ireland been around since last year, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? So we got to make that trip. even if it's on a cruise, we might get a cruise ship. It might be the affordable way to explore and get out just in case we need to. Unless all the listeners are going to show up and and break bread with us and let everybody know that we cool. I need that little bit of insurance, but so those are pretty much the numbers. We just wanted to share. We had like I said, 26 episodes are lowest. A bunch of different countries, a bunch of content coming out, even though our show numbers is down. So, but we're always trying to improve and look to do that next year, and keep it moving. I see Ebony J and during the Courts podcast, they're already booking and working on episodes for next year. I know they kind of been on a hiatus for a little while, but they're already planning their next year steps, and we'll be doing the same thing here shortly. So just wanted to say we appreciate you guys for listening, wherever you at, however much you listen, however little bit you listen, to all the top fans that come and join us live, to the podcast only listeners, to the people that listen on YouTube. Like, we definitely appreciate y'all. I can't say it enough. You know what I'm saying? We definitely appreciate y'all. We got so many platforms that we get people to listen from, so many platforms that we get new fans from, and we want to continue to interact with you guys. And I just want to say thanks, man. Early before the end of the year, early in the episode, just want to say thanks.
Yeah, most definitely. Thank you. But I don't want to give us too much credit. Because our sister show is killing it as well. I love their content. Their content is something that we can't touch at all. So if you want something different than what we got, then go over there. And I'm sure you won't be disappointed.
Completely agree. So we got we got the Facebook, the YouTube, all the podcast platforms, and we also, for those of you that don't know, we also have a Twitch page. We don't have a Twitch page yet, but we have a TikTok page. So if you're on TikTok, be sure to go over there and follow the page. Help us keep our views up. Share with other people. I know I don't have a TikTok personally, like I don't have a personal thing, but people send me stuff all the time. So I know y'all sharing out there. So be sure to share our content with some of the people that you guys support, and that you guys support. Some of the people that you guys, your friends and family and stuff that you guys share stuff with. Make sure you send that to them. What's the TikTok name? What's the TikTok?
It's the same as our Instagram, epiphany.media. Also, you can follow our nonprofit organization, Epiphany.cares, on Instagram as well. It just got started. I just started the page this week. That'll be where the updates happen for events. It'll also be posted on Epiphany Media, but it'll be on there as well. I'm just trying to have it separate over there. So.
Nothing wrong with spreading out a little bit. But yeah, so like I said, we appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all for listening, and to our podcast, to our sister show. And definitely keep trying to get better and do better things. Angel said New Year's resolution have to come up soon. That's probably going to be our last show of the year, so it'll be either I have to look at the calendar and see, but for the next 2 weeks, so either the 11th or the 18th, those would be our last two shows for the year. And yeah, so as we always do, a wrap up of the year that we just had, and then set resolutions and expectations for the next year. I like that, Angel, that you remember. You know what I'm saying? That you remember that's what we do every year at the end is our resolutions and wrap up.
Yeah, only a top fan will remember to put the pressure on us before the end of the year to come up with resolutions.
Exactly. So yeah, man. So all right, let's jump into the topic. And I'm gonna get all sappy on y'all for the first couple minutes of the show, but we just want to show our gratitude because we do appreciate y'all. Um, so a couple weeks ago, um, we were talking about legacy, our legacy episode, and we were talking about uh, what are you going to leave behind? What kind of mark are you going to make? Like, what's going to be your lasting, um, our as a people, lasting image or whatever? Like, what are we going to leave behind to the next generation or to our kids or whatever? And we kind of got on the topic of writing wills and and having a trust and all these different things. Um, and Byron's mom said that we should do a show on death. I don't know exactly how she phrased it. On death and like funerals, cremation, like that type of a thing. So actually, you know what I'm about to do?
That was a random suggestion from her. I never expected her to have want to have a show about death. That's like eerie, but she is the same person that said, I want to have my funeral. I want to have my funeral done by Boyd Funeral Home.
Is that on the show or to you?
To me, like forever. I guess she like how they. I don't know. I guess she like how they do the body. I don't know. I have no idea. But she just said, I want to have Boyd Funeral Home do it.
I'm about to send her a message and tell her to make sure she jump on here because, like, for how long has she been saying that?
Let me see. I'm 34, so at least 30 years.
Crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. Not even just funeral wishes, but like, the funeral home that you want to go to? That's crazy.
Yeah, I guess. Like, no one has ever told you, like anybody that you know, anybody in your family, have they ever told you, like, hey, I want to be cremated, or hey, I don't want to have my service in a church or anything like that?
Of course. I am one of those people. I think my mom said she want to be cremated, and she had some wild request. Like I want y'all to what'd she say? Like go to Pittsburgh Steelers Stadium or something, and like secretly spread the ashes. She ain't here now. My mom said I do Cummings Davis. You can have a funeral if that's what you want, but I know you say you want to be cremated. And what did you say you want to be? She said that's not wild. That's pretty wild. You want to go to like Pittsburgh Stadium or something? I'm gonna pour you in where the Three Rivers meet, like the old stadium. I'm just gonna pour you in the water, and that's gonna be that.
If somebody could sneak into the Brown Stadium and do donuts on the field, it's possible that you can get the masses in there and somehow.
That's a good point.
You might get kicked out, but they might not know what it was that you poured on the field, but you most definitely get kicked out. But that's her wishes, so got to be done.
Well, like I said, I'm pouring her at the Three Rivers, where the Three Rivers meet. Just hope for the best.
But you know what? Go to the Brown Steelers game at the end of the year when it's cold, it's snowing, and it'll blend in.
I'm just gonna put her in like a valve, and I'm just gonna throw it over the fence. Like, hey, close enough. Close enough. She said, "No, you're not, and you will not get your money." Yeah, I will. They won't know. They won't know.
Well, she's gonna put it in her will. Like, this is the perfect time to talk about it. She can put her in her will that if my ashes are not thrown, I don't even know what is it? It's still Heinz Field, or is it something else?
It's like this is the first year. It's not Heinz Field. I don't know what it's called. Mustard Field.
Shit, right?
Something. I'm trying to think who else. My mom said it has to be on video. We'll tell you it's on video. And what are you gonna stop us? I'm trying to think of if anybody else said that like specific like my grandmother when she passed, she was able to plan she was able to plan her funeral, right? Um so I guess that's one way. Like I don't think we ever talked about it before, but like she literally was like I want these people carrying the casket. I want y'all to wear this color. Um, she's like, oh, we can't have it on this date because my sister's religion or whatever. And then she's like, nah, she'll have to make the exception or whatever. I thought that was funny. She's like, well, we can't do it on Saturdays because my sister go to church on Saturdays or something. And she's like, she'll have to make the exception. And I was like, that's pretty funny. But yeah, so she was able to like plan like so much of her funeral or whatever, and I thought that was pretty dope. Even though she was kind of like on her deathbed, so if we can plan before that, I think that's the way to go. But anyway, but I can't think of any other people who just like got specific wishes, right? So my specific wishes is no funeral or no like not at like a church or whatever. Um, I got 5 songs. 5 songs got to be played, and y'all better listen to them, every word. And then have a party. Like I might prepay for the Douce. You know what I'm saying? I might prepay for the Douce.
I might get people to show up.
It's a party, and you're supposed to show up for a celebration. You know what I'm saying? So that's it, though. Let me catch you in the comments, and I want to hear your version. Angel said, "My family always knew which one and where I want to be cremated at." I don't know what this word is. Toland Hertz. I'm gonna say something that was not cool. Funeral home. Is that like in your town or whatever? In a smaller town? I think it would be different in a smaller town because I don't think they wouldn't have that many funeral homes, possibly. But in Cleveland, man, we got a couple like famous. I don't know if the famous was like it's all the people go to. Like it's these these certain ones, man, that just repeatedly. It's a bunch of funeral homes around here, but it's like 3 of them that just constantly pop up all the time. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't know. I guess they just do good work. I suppose. I guess I don't know. My mom said, or I'm sorry, Angel said, planning is great for those left behind. I agree. My mom said, I want everybody to wear football jerseys. It's pretty specific. I don't know if we can make that happen. We'll see. Angel said, you don't have to wonder what they would want. She said it's in Dover, but they cremate there on site and don't ship you anywhere. Well, that's good. And hopefully they ain't like that one. I think that was in Cleveland, man. The one cremation place, and they were just like, they were just giving your family any random ashes, and they were just like dumping your body in like the backyard or something. It was crazy. They was burying you, and they were just giving your family like. I don't think that was in Cleveland. I'll take that back, but I think they were burying the bodies or. Maybe they were burning the bodies, but they were just giving families whatever ash they had, you know what I'm saying? Just giving random ashes to random people, which at the same time, I guess, like, who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I don't want to say who cares. I'll take that back. That's insensitive. But, like, how would you know anyway? Like, how can you decipher this person ashes from this person ashes? Like, you wouldn't know. Like, so it's all about the memory, I suppose. My mom said, "I just wanted a memory and a party." Exactly. That's what it's all about. So, what about you? Besides your mom telling you where she want to be, what funeral home she want to have, what anybody else in your family tell you? You know how I wouldn't say how they want to go, but funeral versus cremation, or where, or how, or any of that stuff.
To be honest with you, I haven't. We're talking about me, right?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't thought about, do I want to be cremated or, do I want a regular funeral? I haven't thought about any of those things. But since I do know how much of a rip-off funeral homes are. You know, they want to take they want to take all of your money. Um, whatever it may be, I want it to be cheap. You know, because I would want the money to go to who it's supposed to go to, and not just to put me in the ground. Like I understand, you want to have a nice ceremony, for me or whatever, but at the same time, I'm gone. You know what I'm
It ain't
saying?
right. It
Like,
ain't for you. Right.
you don't want you to put all this money into, having me land in a fancy suit, expensive casket, all these flowers and stuff like that. Nah,
24 karat gold casket, man.
nah,
Lined, silk lined. You know what I'm
you know what
saying?
I'm saying? Like, if like, let's say if I did choose to, go the cremation route, then that's really simple because all you gotta do is pay for the cremation, and then you gotta have like a home, not a home, well, uh, kind of like a memoriam, you know, I guess.
Yeah. A homegoing
Like
party. Yeah.
I was out of town and I wanted a brewery because I wanted to get, some beer, and we go in and we just see all these people crying and stuff like, "Oh, what's going on? It's a brewery. It's supposed to be a festive, type of environment." But then, I look and they got pictures of somebody who died, you know what I'm saying, at the bar. And they just, looking at the pictures and just crying and stuff like that. And that's something that I never, seen before. So, I mean, it's like, hey, have one last brew with me.
Yeah. That's, you know what? I might have to put that in there because that's pretty dope. I mean, I don't go to bars, so if I had like a favorite bar that I went to or something, that'd be cool. But other than that, like if it was a place that meant something to me or whatever. But other than that, the idea though is super cool. I think I said that when you told me. I'm like, that's pretty cool. Even if you took the urn and set the urn on the table or whatever, and then y'all just had drinks and chilled and partied and listen to music or whatever. Like I think that'd be pretty dope. I don't have no issues with that at all.
Yeah, it
Like, I
was
think that's
dope.
pretty cool.
But it'd be better if it was like a private event. You just got random people coming in.
Well, yeah,
But
yeah. But if it's only, I mean, hopefully it's more than 5 people at my thing or whatever.
hey, you ever think about that? Like, I wonder how many people gonna come to the funeral? Like, would you be mad? I mean, you clearly can't be mad, but would you be mad if it's someone that you haven't spoken to for a long time while you were alive, and they just decided to come up when come see you when you gone?
I don't think I would be upset because so you never know, right? So like when I pray or whatever, right? So I pray for people, or I'm thankful when I pray. I'm thankful for people who like had a profound in imprint in impact, impact on my life or whatever. But even like the people who didn't have a major role or whatever, or didn't have like a long standing role in my life, but maybe I just heard something or they said something and like, oh, that made me think about, they just gave me like a different thought or a different way to look at stuff. So I'm thankful for like all these different experiences that created the person who I am today. So with that being said, like you don't know, like I wouldn't be upset because you might hold those people to like they didn't really mean much in your life, but to you, you might be higher up on their list, right? So they want to come pay their respects or whatever. I wouldn't be upset with it. Now, on the other hand, on the other hand, though, I feel like I have like touched more people than like 5 people. So like if 5 people showed up, then I'm like, man, what the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, or whatever the number is, but like yeah, like if I have a funeral or something and 2 people show up or something, I'm like, that math doesn't math to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I would be like that would make me more upset than I want to say random people. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, it could be somebody who that you might go to their funeral because they had an impact on you and they didn't even know it. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't be upset if random people showed up, but
True.
yeah, if nobody showed up though,
Yeah,
that's when I got issues.
the explanation most definitely makes sense. Um, and most of the time it'd be over like petty stuff anyway. Like I don't, you know what I mean? Like you know what I'm saying? So, like some things you could get over, you could have got over if you would have just talked about it, or just not even talk about it, just move on, from it. But some things are unforgivable. Some things
No,
are
that's
unforgivable. So I understand, but then at the same time, the other person may have wanted to apologize or whatever, but they just never got to, and now they feel real bad. But like oh man, I feel stupid for what I'm about to say. So Ghetto Boys, you got never mind, I figured it out. So Willie D, I was about to say, yeah, what's dude from Ghetto Boys name? I can't remember. Yeah, but anyways, when Willie D said when hey, what's the group member that just recently died?
Bushwick Bill.
When he died, he said, I didn't go to the funeral because I had beef with him when he was alive. Why would I go to the funeral? But some people feel like that. If I didn't mess with you when you were alive, why would I go to your funeral?
I agree with that. I agree with that. But I also feel like I like that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like I don't have beef with nobody that I can think of, you know what I'm saying, that would cause them not to come to, my memorial service or whatever. But I agree. Like if it was somebody that I honestly, genuinely didn't mess with or whatever, or we had like issues and it was never solved and whatever, yeah, I wouldn't go. I wouldn't think twice. It wouldn't affect me in the slightest, you know what I'm saying? Shit, I might not even know that they did. You know what I'm saying? Like no, nothing. You know what I'm saying? And then when I find out, maybe I feel sorry for the kids or the family or something like that, but not for the person or whatever. Especially if it's somebody that I used to be close with, But then I think about, I guess stupid issues like when me and you had our situation, right? Like something would have happened, like it would have been like, damn, like we went through something or whatever, but it was never big enough to where like it couldn't be resolved with a conversation. You know what I'm saying? So I would have felt bad. You know what I'm saying? Like for sure, if something would have happened. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like in certain situations, it's like, and the problem could have been rectified, and it's fucked up situation. But stuff like that happens every day.
Right. It's true.
Every day.
Exactly. My mom said, "Why pay 10,000 when you die have to live after I'm gone? Oh, when you guys have to live after I'm gone." Yeah, I agree. Um, I don't even like. I mean, I don't like it, but it could be the person's last wish or whatever. So maybe it's the family doing it. Like when you see you see families that do like oh we're gonna have a funeral service with him with the body like just in a chair, with glasses on or whatever, and like we're gonna have strippers dancing on them, or we're gonna have we're gonna we're gonna prop them up playing the game because you love to play the game. Now maybe that was the person's last wish or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But if that's just a family doing it, like man, y'all way out of pocket for that. That's just crazy. That's just crazy. But if that's the person's last wish, so I try not to be judgmental because that might have been the person's last wish and the family just doing, and so it blow up on the internet like, oh, this family crazy. I can't believe you're doing this, but that's what they wanted, and I guess the family just doing their part. But man, I agree. That's a lot of money, a lot of effort to put into something that ultimately doesn't matter. Tim said, just turn me into a tree or burn me cheap and dump me in the lake. Like I don't think God cares how much you spend on your funeral. Tim, I agree completely. And that's what I'm saying. It shouldn't be, because it's not really for you. Like it's for everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So if if so, I don't need a big rah, funeral type thing, like, because it wouldn't be for me. I want my people to be feeling good and having a good time and stuff. Um, Angel said, I feel that way. She said, there are people I wouldn't want there, and I wouldn't go to theirs. Angel, you would feel upset if somebody that you didn't that I don't want to say that you didn't mess with, because that might be different, but you would be upset if somebody that you didn't really know or randoms or something showed up at your funeral. You would be upset at that. Tim said, "Y'all better send flowers. Y'all better send flowers to my funeral." So we got you, man. We're gonna send a nice bouquet. We're gonna send a nice bouquet. Hey, you got to come back. You got to come back to Cleveland, though. I'm not sending them to Michigan. I think you're in Michigan. I'm not sending them to Michigan. My mom said, "Go ahead."
I said, hopefully you can send them some flowers. What is that about? What is that? January. You know, when Ohio State finally get that W.
Yeah. Oh yeah. At the
Yeah, I'm sorry for your loss.
Send you flowers on New Year's Eve. My mom said, "Well, you and your sister better not do it." I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Better not do what, Mom? Angel said, "That's a show." Are you talking? What's the show specifically? You gotta tell us so we can write this stuff down. My mom said, "Just remember me." Exactly. Right. I don't want people like, "Oh man, it's always like the body didn't look like them or whatever." I just rather like nigga put a picture up that actually looks like me, and then y'all just party, play shoulder lean 1,000 times. I don't know.
But the body never looks like the person because, like, first of all, you don't have any insides in you, and you pumped up with
you don't
chemicals.
have color. Yeah, exactly right.
And then you got makeup on your face, and
yeah, it's just weird. Like, right, I look like he ain't never wore makeup. Why is he wearing makeup? Like, it's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even want to put. I don't want that to be the lasting memory of me. People are like, that nigga hated makeup, but he wore makeup his last day above ground or whatever. That's crazy. Andrew said, I'd rather not have randoms. I'm sorry, I'd rather have randoms and people who know they wronged me. Well, yeah. And you always going to get those people too. The people that's going to be like, crying the loudest, super boo-hooing. Those are always the people who I feel like they didn't they're trying. It's a show for other people. Like I said, all this stuff is a show. So it's a show of of like, oh, I want these other people to see how much that this person who died means to me. So I'm gonna put on this big show production. I'm gonna make sure everybody know I'm sad. I'm gonna cry loud. All this stuff. When if you know that I'm dealing with something or whatever, I'm going downhill, or we have conversations, or we're close, then you'll prepare yourself more. I'm not saying it won't hurt, but you'll prepare yourself more. So when something happened, you wouldn't be like, "Oh, I never even knew." Like, yeah, because you wasn't close to me. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with you there. Like, people that roam is different, but they'll still show.
Now it may be family there that know the story, and they may not allow them in the funeral. That's cool.
Oh, I thought so too, man. Even at my grandmother's funeral, it was people in there I'd never seen a day in my life. Never seen them. You know what I'm saying? There's a nigga in there, nigga sung some song or whatever. They had to go pull that nigga off the podium. It was crazy. Like, I'd never seen this dude ever. He's like, I don't think Ebony in here. My mom might remember the story, but the dude was like, she worked with my mom or something, but he was an old dude himself. Like, she worked with my mom or something. He's like, I didn't really know her, but my mom knew her or something. I don't know. But this nigga went up there and like spoke and sung a song or something. And all I remember is everybody was laughing because the nigga couldn't sing. I remember he smacked the podium, like smacked the podium, and somebody had to go pull that nigga off the. Oh, my aunt said nobody knew. I don't know, like no one knows this dude. Like when he showed up, singing songs talking about she worked with my mom or whatever he said. I don't remember, but it was crazy, man. It was wild, and I just remember that nigga slapping the like. It was funny, but it's a funeral, so it's kind of good to laugh or whatever. But when that nigga smacked that nigga smacked the podium, man. I lost it, completely lost it. That shit was too funny to me.
But I will remember like people who didn't come to certain funerals that I feel like should have been there.
Now, the only reason I don't is because I don't go to funerals, right? And I don't mean that I don't care or whatever. I don't want that to be the last image of you that I have. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm used to you being, full of life and joyful and boisterous or whatever. I don't want my last, like I got that of my dad, right? Like my last image of my dad. I don't even have many images, but the last one is a nigga laying in a coffin, and it sucks. I hate that that's the last image I have. So that's the reason I don't go to funerals. I know people in my family, like, well, you better come to mine. I'm like, you're not getting it though. It's not that I don't want to come and support you or support the family, or whatever. It's that I don't want that to be the last thing that I remember about you. You land in a box. You know what I'm saying? So I try not to hold it against people that don't show up. I think about it like, damn, that is a little strange, but I don't go too far because I don't be going myself. So, but I feel you though.
Yeah, I get it. Like funerals are they're uncomfortable to go to because first, like you said, you see the person that you saw that was full of life no longer breathing anymore, just sitting there looking stiff and not even looking like themselves. First of all,
Right.
the second of all, you have to go to the family and give them your condolences, which is just awkward. Like
What are you
because what I'm
saying?
saying, yeah, what I'm saying isn't really, touch. It's not hitting. It doesn't even mean anything. It's just, and then you go to the service. It's just depressing. Like no one, nothing. So,
Yeah.
but like some people, it's like you gotta go. But at the same time, like look, but then if you do go, at least go to the what do you call it, the viewing.
Repast.
Well, yeah, not the repast, but the viewing, and then leave. Because I don't want to sit here and listen to all this depression.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Even my grandma's funeral, like I didn't go. Like it was an open casket or whatever, but I didn't even go into like the sanctuary part until after they closed it. You know what I'm saying? Now it's good and bad of that. The good is that I didn't have to see her in the coffin or whatever. The bad was nigga they put me on like the first row, like nigga next to it, and I'm like in my mind I'm like, well I don't know who made this decision. This is not the way to go. Like, I wouldn't have made this choice. Is what I wanted to say, but it's in the middle of a funeral. My aunt said she asked Papa, my grandfather, who he was, and he said, "I don't have no idea who that nigga is," which is hilarious. I can hear him saying it like that, nigga. That's hilarious. I don't know who that nigga is. That's funny. That's funny. Hold on, I don't want to miss Tim. Tim said, I'm from Ohio. I'm just stuck here for now. I have Browns flags in my office, and employees tell me if we ever run out of TP, it's good to know that they have some in my office. Detroit sucks so bad. I don't want to hear nothing. Tim said, he said, same with me. I don't do funerals for that reason. We all grieve in our own way, which is completely true. For sure. Like, and that's why I try not to hold it against, but you at least would like to see certain people. So I get what you're saying. I don't hold it against them, but I do. Like, damn, you ain't show like it is usually like people that I know that my grandmother or whoever was there for the person. Like, that person was there for them. Like, they be like, damn, you didn't even show up. But then sometimes I don't show up too, so I guess I can't hate them.
That's why I said what I said because it's like they showed up for you, but you ain't gonna show up for them. On the last day, your last opportunity to show up for them.
Yeah. At least I'm not. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe you got to show up. You don't got to view the body or whatever, but maybe you just got to show up or something. Maybe that's the happy medium. Angel said, I get why some opt for no memorial or funeral. It's just less drama, man. I don't know about. I'm assuming that every funeral, but I know for a fact that black funerals, it's always something. It's almost always something, even if it's something funny. Like my grandmother, like we didn't have no issues, like negative issues, but like that was just a weird situation. There's just always something at black funerals. Um, so it's just not worth the hassle to me. Look, I'm trying to be as even after I die. Apparently, I'm trying to be as simple and hassle free as possible. You know what I'm saying? So if I can skip the funeral, memorial service, or whatever, and just have a party, nigga, come to the house, grab a drink. The cigar thing is over there. Everybody grab a sticker. There's plenty of them in there.
And everybody just smoking your favorite stick.
Everybody like, smoking your favorite stick. You want me to put in a will? You want me to give all my Fuentes to you? And put that in the will?
I always wanted to smoke this one.
Yeah.
It's the perfect thing, I guess.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Well, yeah. Hey, burn me with my cigars then. That's what I want. Put nigga in, tell the cremation people or whatever. Put them stakes in there in the fire with me. What Gucci say? We're smoking on Pookie Low tonight. Put my sticks in there with me. My aunt said, I go to certain people's services. I just don't view the body. Exactly. Andrew said, it's paying your respects, but it's not necessary for me. I agree. Like I don't need that. Look, my only real request. I got 5 songs. Y'all better listen to them. That's it. I would say I'd rather see everyone at the repast. Yeah, because that's more of a party.
Better mood. Yeah.
Y'all sharing stories, kind of like. So you do like. I'm assuming it's like this for most funerals. You do like the viewing is like before. Then you had a funeral. You had people saying sad stories and shit. And then you have the burial, I guess, if you're getting buried. Then you have like the repast where it's more relaxed. People are eating. I'm pretty sure most places are having drinks or whatever. And then it's more of like you're on the way up, right? You hit your load, now you're on your way back up. So I just want a giant repast is what I want. You know what I'm saying? I want my entire service to be a repast. That's a perfect way of putting that to see.
Yeah, like that guy from DC, Baltimore, Maryland, one of them DMV area. He had his funeral in an actual nightclub. So he was on. They had him posing like he was on stage performing, and just everybody was just kicking.
That's pretty dope. I remember T.I. said in the song that he, I don't know if he actually did or if it's just a song or whatever, but the idea is cool. He said he rappers and famous people have memorial services and stadiums and stuff. And y'all know it's from Georgia, so he like prepaid his funeral service in like the Georgia Dome or whatever. Now I don't know if it's true or not, but that's sweet. Not like I wouldn't need nothing. I don't know that many people or whatever, but the idea of like just having it in a non-traditional place where you ain't really sad. Like y'all go do your thing or whatever, but it's a more community type environment, not like everybody just sad and crying and stuff. Angel said, every service I've been to, the body is there. How do you guys avoid it? I hate seeing the body. It scars my brain.
Stay in the back.
Well, either I don't go, or the ones I do go to, if there's a point where they close the casket, then I'll go in there. If they don't, then I'll just stay in the, like Byron said, I'll just stay in the back. You know what I'm saying? Just in the very back. But I can't even say that. In my lifetime, I've been to, I think, 3 funerals. Now, clearly, more people that I know have died, but I've only been to 3. I've been to my dad's, my grandmother's, and like a friend of mine's mom had passed. That's pretty much it. And so my dad, I was a little kid, so of course went to see nobody and stuff. My grandmother's, I just told y'all, I stayed in the back till they closed the casket. And at my friends, I think I just sat in the back. Like that was it. You know what I'm saying? How many funerals you been to?
Good number that I can't put a I can't put a number on it, but I've been to a good amount of funerals.
I know how you do it.
Um, but all of those funerals were in churches and stuff. But not too long ago, I went to a funeral that was in an actual funeral home, and that was like different. Like I never experienced like something like that. A funeral home, it's a little bit different. The religion's not involved. Well, may or may not be involved. And like I've been to, I went to a funeral at a funeral home, and they did have a pastor, which was cool. But the pastor was literally chastising one of the guests of the funeral. It was crazy. I never seen that like that.
Damn, at the funeral, you can't let it go?
No, the pastor can't let it go. He was looking straight at this man while saying all this stuff. And if you notice, I'm not going to say the situation because it's messed up. But if you know the situation, like you knew he was talking to this man, and I'm
That's
like,
crazy.
wow, that's crazy right there. But I will tell you what I don't want at my funeral because I really don't know. I told you like I just don't want like a fancy, extravagant type of funeral. But I'll tell you what I don't want, and I don't want any theatrics. Um, like today, I seen on social media like it was this guy singing, and he had like a crown on the pillow, and he just singing, walking down the aisle, and it was kind of like a ring, when a ring bearer walks down the aisle, for a wedding. And you just see him singing. I'm like, okay, he's singing for a wedding. And then they pan the camera and you see a casket up at the front. Like, I don't want that to be me. Like, I don't want any theatrics going on at my funeral. Let's say that we do elevate, our status and stuff like that. Look, I just want one private funeral. Like, I don't want to be at the Georgia Dome. Like, I don't want to be at Rocket Mortgage Field House. Like, nah. You know what I'm saying? No, I just want something private and for the family. That's it.
Let me catch up. And I want to give my opinion because that's funny.
Yeah.
I agree with you though. So to Angel's question, I was just trying to let everybody get a chance to chime in. Angel, I know you're reading this in real time, but I want to read it for people that's not watching live. So mine said, just don't go to the front. Mine said, just go to my seat. Angel said, this probably sounds really dumb, but I just thought you had to go through the line and shake everyone's hand standing up by the coffin. I hate that part. Have you ever did that part, by the way?
I've been on I've been on the receiving end and of course, shaking the family's hand. I don't like any of it, so
Okay. All right. Tim said, when I worked in the lab at the hospital, we played a joke on the housekeeping guy while he was waxing the floors in the morgue by putting the walkie-talkie in the drawer with the body and just waited for the right time to start yelling help. Funny as hell, but seeing death all the time made a lot of us callous after a while.
I remember that reminded me of you.
Tim, now look, that's funny. So look, we never did that. I never did any of this horrible stuff. But at my job at the hospital, they played it like we used to have. What's the correct term? We used to have we used to have. Boy, I don't want to be offensive. This is not the show to be offensive, by the way. We had some people that maybe had some. The more I start, the more offensive it gets. some people who had some learning disabilities, possibly or whatever, or maybe like mental health issues or whatever. That's what I'm trying to say. And they would do certain stuff like clean, like maintenance or whatever. And some people at University Hospital, man, they put a head. I'm not even kidding. I mean, they put a head in like a cabinet or something, and to like scare the person, whatever. Boy, lawsuit is what I can tell you. Everybody got fired, and a huge lawsuit. And I'm surprised it wasn't worse. I'll just say that. So,
a real head, hold on, like a real head or
a real human head, yeah. Like they had like, I don't know what happened to like the body or whatever, but it wasn't like leaking. Like they had like cauterized the neck or whatever, and put it in a cabinet. So like when this guy was like cleaning, like not in the morgue. This wasn't where they do anything with body parts. This wasn't in the science department. This wasn't by case. This was like just a random cabinet in, I'm assuming, like a kitchen or office, and like just sitting there as a human head. So of course the guy flip out at like who wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? Lawsuit. And when I say everybody got fired, everybody that was on that shift in that department, that shift and the shift before, everybody got fired.
Wow.
Everybody.
I'm sure there's some people that wasn't in on it though.
Well, I'm sure, but they couldn't verify who knew what, and they couldn't verify. They fired everybody.
Oh wow, I'd be sick.
Everybody. Because nobody would stand up and say that I did it or it was my mistake or whatever. So they fire everybody. Like literally 2/3 of a department, everybody had to go. It's crazy. So how I'm slightly wrapped up into it is so I work in like dietary or something, and I had like it was like getting rid of. I probably told it on Epiphany Radio. The Sherbert story. It was like it was throwing away. Like, look. So when I was younger, we didn't have food. Like when we first started getting our own apartments and stuff, we didn't have food. So you would take any food, or I speak for myself, would take any food I could home because I wasn't making enough money to pay rent and bills and eat. You know what I'm saying? So they was throwing away like a thing of sherbet, and I took the sherbet home, or I put in my book bag to take with me because they was throwing it out for whatever reason. It wasn't expired or whatever. I don't know why. But I ended up leaving the book bag to run like back to the office or whatever to get whatever. And when I came back, like my book bag was gone. And so I went to like our police department in the hospital, like, hey, like, can y'all pull up the camera? Like, I just like my book bag or whatever. Or when I walked in, I seen the book bag. And they're like, oh, is this yours? I'm like, yeah. They're like, man. So they seen the sherbet or whatever. So they thought I was stealing the sherbet. Like, they thought I was stealing ice cream or something from the hospital, which is absurd. But they were like, man, like we touched the bag was cold. We just had that head in the cabinet situation. Like we didn't know what was going on. Like, you know, so we all kind of freaked out or whatever. So anyway, long story short, like they ended up putting me on like probationary like discipline because they thought I was stealing sherbet or something. It was ridiculous or whatever. But it all stemmed from, to make a long story longer, it all stemmed from like that head being in that cabinet, man. Everybody, that's how freaked out everybody was about it. Is that they seen a book bag and they like, it might have been a frozen head in there or something. We didn't know what was going on, and so we had to take it, and then it, you know, developed into a whole thing. Whatever. It was crazy though, crazy. That whole little time was crazy.
It would have been smarter for them to choose a fake head rather than a real human head that actually belongs to something. It's great.
Yeah, like and I think that's why, because at that point you got to set an example. But so you got to worry about a lawsuit from the worker. You got to worry about a lawsuit from the person's family, whoever body that was, for like desecration of a body. Like it was crazy.
That's a crime. Yeah, you're right.
That whole man, everybody got fired. It was insane. Real human head, man.
Now, was the lawsuit won, or did they settle?
Oh, no, I'm sure. I'm sure they settled. They were wrong. Like I'm sure they like, hey, look, this is why people probably don't even know about it unless you work there or whatever. Because people, they probably like, whatever you want, you don't even have to take it to court. Whatever you want, we'll give it to you. We'll give it to you.
The hospital, they got it.
They do got it. You know what I'm saying? But it was like, man, please don't make this a public story. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I was thinking the whole time. Did I hear this? Did I hear about this on the news?
Telling you, I got plenty of friends that worked at UH then and work now. I can pull them up if I need to. I promise you. And I got wrapped into it because they thought I was still in Sherwood, which is crazy. Let's see. Angel said more fingers and toes. I think she's talking about the number of funerals that she went to. Yeah, I just don't go. Mine said my father-in-law's service was crazy. What was crazy about his service, and how does that make you want your service, or do you know how you want your service? You should let me know. A couple years ago, I think Angel wanted to do like with her family, just everybody she knew. I think she wanted to do like just have a session where you just write wills or whatever. Whenever you get the family together, so whether it's like Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever. Now, it's not typically the best subject to bring up while everybody's trying to celebrate the holidays or whatever, but I think our heart was in the right place, and I think it does make sense, you know, since to write out something, you know, of course you got to get it notarized, but to write it out while you're thinking about it or got the time to do it, I think that's a good idea. Angel said, imagine if they did a joke with your body, your families. That's wild. Tim said, holy crap. Yeah, that's what I look. So I get it. University Hospital is like, hey, for our own safety, everybody has to go. Everybody has to go. And Angel said, Sherbert. Look, for a while, my name was Emmanuel Sherbert Humphrey on Facebook a long time because of that.
Hey,
inside.
Now, let me ask you this, though. If you were the janitor and you were cleaning up and you found a human head in the cabinet, would you, what were, that would have been your reaction?
Money.
Same reaction in a lawsuit?
I don't know if you can fake a heart attack, but I would have tried. Mm-hmm. I would have passed out. I would have hit my head somewhere. I would have, look, it's a Humphrey wing at University Hospital. It would have been renamed Humphrey with a new picture. Like, it would have still been Humphrey, but with my picture. You kidding me? A human head? Oh. Renamed Humphrey. Like, I wouldn't even made it confusing. It had two branches called Humphrey. It would have been the Humphrey branch, but it would have been take that picture down and put mine up. Put my grandmother's picture up or something, like, you know what I'm saying? So much money. So much money. I would have took out a loan to hire better attorneys. You know what I'm saying? I would have flew in attorneys from wherever I need to fly them in from. You know what I'm saying? I'll take out a loan of however much I can. You know what I'm saying? Like, so much money. So much.
Hey, what is it? The Headless Horseman?
Yeah. Exactly. That, man. You could, man. You want to talk about hitting the Powerball?
Guaranteed millions. Like, I settle for 2.2 right now.
Million?
2.2.
If
I'm a settle. Yeah, if I'm a settle. But if we're gonna take it to trial, you know what I'm saying?
If I'm settling, I need free healthcare for me and my people for the rest of our lives. That's as a start. That's the jumping off point. You know what I'm saying? I want to walk in and like, oh, this Humphrey, anybody with the last name Humphrey or whatever, VIP list immediately. Like, you know, they get the best service, they get the best rooms, they get a floor to themselves, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Immediately for me and my folks. That's the starting point. Then we can talk numbers. A human head, nigga, what? Never in the day. Mine said his niece called herself preaching to his kids. Nobody got off. Nobody got up to offer words at first. The preacher went off, and a few people got up to speak. I don't know. I don't know if that says more about them or more about your father-in-law. I don't quite know. I don't know. No, nervousness is a thing, but when somebody got to go off on you to get somebody to stand up, like even like think about Granny's funeral. Like, nobody really wanted to get up there and say some stuff, and then like my funny uncle went up there and then kind of loosened up stuff, and people went up and talked and stuff. But yeah, if you got to be chastised to get up there and say something, I don't know who that says more about. I didn't know him that well. He was always cool with me. I never had an issue with him, so But I never had that many interactions with him, so I don't know. But that's usually not a. Hey, and she put nobody in caps. I really don't know who's that. I don't know who you pointing the fingers at for there,
but sometimes people just don't want to get up in front of a room full of people and have to speak about a loved one.
Sure.
Like,
yeah, no, for sure, it's not an easy thing to do. I don't think by far, but if people feel if you get chastised and then you reluctantly get up there like, yeah, I probably should go say something. That's not good.
Yeah, because now your heart not in it. You're just talking just to be talking.
So like I said, I didn't know him that well, so I don't know, the relationships he had with other people. But yeah. So anyway, that's how you take that. Look, I don't got to worry about that. We can take that completely out of the equation when it comes to me. We don't have to worry about that part. Mine said, I don't care how my services are. I won't be there. Hilarious. You don't have a preference on if you want to be buried or cremated or you don't have any death wishes or whatever. Like you don't have anything. Tim said, shh, they would have said much more than that. For sure. Like I said, we starting at 2.2. That's where we start the conversation at. And we build from there for sure. That's just where we start. Mine said, nope, don't care.
He probably ain't work again.
Yeah. I wouldn't work again. No, never. No. And that was 2002. It had to be like 10 years ago. Oh yeah, I wouldn't have ever worked again. Not traditional work. My aunt said, nope, don't care. All right. Remember that. So can I tell people that she wouldn't care? Like, can I tell people then, like, when they start doing the most, and I'd be like, nah, she wouldn't want that. Can I just make it up? Like, so you don't care? Like, can I just be like, no, she said on my show one day that she didn't say much, but she said she absolutely don't want that. Like, can I just make it up as I go along? I hope so. That's probably what I'm. That's probably what I'm going to end up doing.
Like, you don't want any like soul food situations where the family just arguing and everything. I'm
like, man, she loves Subway. Y'all didn't know that?
You want Subway? Subway at the repass. And I was gonna, get somebody to make some greens and fried chicken and so we don't want no Subway.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be all salad at my recall. It's all healthy options. Like, or if I want y'all to be with me since I'm alone now, I do the soul food.
I'm about to say you gotta have a dinner from soul food. It's the worst foods known to man. It's just the worst stuff ever. Man, so my idea for the show was to have me and Byron write each other. Oh hell no, I ain't showing up. She said all vegan at the oh no. Oh, you know what? I take that back. Those whatever we had at family vacation, those chicken like fake chicken wings or something. Those wasn't bad. Those wasn't bad. Yeah, I fried them in a skillet with like just enough oil to coat the pan, and I fried them like. So I don't even know what it was. I don't even know what food that was, but those wasn't bad. I'll eat those. I'm not cooking them though, like I did on vacation. That wasn't bad. I'm with you on that. I'll do the all vegan if I can have some of those wings or whatever. But it got to be the same kind. Because we had my one aunt that passed. She was a vegan or vegetarian or something. All her stuff sucked. Like all her food sucked. But she lived in Virginia, and she had when they lived the small town called Farmville. They had a watermelon patch on their property, a couple watermelon patches. So that was great. I don't even know if they was vegan at that time. I don't know. I think they were. I don't know. But nigga, we would go get watermelon all the time. Like, look, we would get down there and we would go to the watermelon patch before we went in the house and spoke. It was kind of rude, but nigga, I never seen a watermelon patch in my life. And I also don't eat watermelon in public like that. When I got
overwhelmed.
Yeah, when I got to because I don't eat watermelon in public, man. So when they had a patch every time you got that long drive to Virginia, man, straight to the watermelon, man.
I know. I sent you that Ryan Coogler thing when he was talking about people eating watermelon from over there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he had to get to that point though. He didn't just wake up like I just eat watermelon. I don't care. He had to get to that point. Like he had to get to that point though. My aunt say they were vegetarian. I never even noticed. That's how important the watermelon was to me. We would go down there and I would just eat watermelon for
it was saving you.
4 days or whatever. Like
save your life.
Fresh watermelon?
Saving.
Like, they had watermelon patches or whatever, like fresh watermelon.
Nutritious.
Man, it's the greatest thing ever. Tim said, do y'all eat after the funeral? Yeah, so Tim, that's what a repast is. Maybe repast a black thing?
Nah. But it's like I believe it's more emphasized. I believe it's more emphasized at a black funeral. I don't know. I don't know why, but it just is. And then I noticed being at a black funeral compared to other funerals. The viewing is the same day as the funeral, but like with other funerals, like the viewing is like the day before. I never seen. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you go view the body at the funeral home. That's something different, though. We talking about the actual. Like, I was confused when I was like, okay, so the viewing is at 7:30 at night. Like, what you mean? And
the day before.
Like,
yeah. Right. I agree. I agree. I never thought about that. That's interesting. Angel said, I never heard it called repass until I met you. So maybe it just called something different. Tim, do y'all, I know you said you don't really go to funerals, but like, do y'all typically eat after y'all funerals and stuff? Tim said, I can't do it or potlucks. I always get skeeved out someone's scattered dogs. Tim, now you know which funerals that is more susceptible at happening at. You know what I'm saying? You said cat or dog was licking a spoon, or maybe they're just a dirty person. Now, Tim, I agree with you in general, but we know specifically when it comes to like animals, we know which group love their animals a little bit more. They love their animals, and sometimes they let them lick off their spoons and stuff, and lick their face and all type of weird stuff. So Tim, you got to really be careful. You got to really be careful, man, because anything could be going on in those kitchens. In general, I agree with you, but yeah, most of the ones I've been to, I think they're either been catered I've only been to 3. One I didn't eat at, and then my grandma. I think I did eat something, but that was like it wasn't catered. I think people brought her. Maybe the family cooked. I don't remember how it went. And then my dad's. I don't think I ate nothing there or whatever. But uh, Tim, just be careful, man. That's all I can say. My aunt said sometimes they're catered. I think that'd be good. My mom said Cincinnati beat Kansas City. That's crazy. That's the last 3 times. That's crazy.
That's not good. Crazy. I mean, that's not good. That's not good.
Hey, Cincinnati win at Kansas City the way the Browns win in Cincinnati. That's cool. I'll take it. I'll take it. Yeah, Tim, I agree with you, man. Potlucks are always iffy. It's funny. We was talking about potlucks and like at work and stuff. I don't trust it. Don't trust it. Don't trust it. I need to know who made everything.
Yeah, somebody recently made some cookies. I love chocolate chip cookies. You think I ate some? No.
Yeah, I can't.
No, like it's only probably one person that's goated at my current job where if they make something, I'm eating it every time. They make something, I'm eating. I'm like, oh, you made, oh, you know, I trust those hands. Everybody else, nah. Like, I don't even want to go down that route. But I agree with Tim. You know, potlucks are dangerous.
Potlucks are dude. It's only 2 people, and they're not even goated because I haven't been there long enough to like for them to get a track record. But they are old Black women, and I feel like I can trust them, right? So I give them the leg up or whatever. But I haven't been around long enough to to trust it blindly. I'll drink some juice. You know, brought some juice. I pour up.
Water.
You brought some popcorn in a bag for sure. Some cheddar popcorn in a sealed bag for sure. You know what I'm saying? But they made like a breakfast casserole. I'm not. Who is eating this? Like when I got there, it was like 75% gone. Like who is eating this? I can't believe y'all eating this. Like, who is this person that made this stuff? I can't believe y'all. Anyway, let me digress. But Angel said, here's good. A lot of white people are that way too. Tim said, okay, so it's not just me. Yeah, potlucks are dangerous. You got to have a hell of a track record for me to eat your potluck food at a job or at a funeral or whatever. I can't take the risk. So Tim, I'm with you, man. Just be careful out there, especially in Michigan. They eat all type of weird stuff out there. I'm sure of it. It just has to be that way. But yeah, man. So your mom finally joined us. I sent her a message an hour plus ago. She just not joined. Over. Yeah, right. The show about to be over, but besides your mom wanting her funeral to be at is that Boyd and Sons or whatever?
Yeah. I think that's right. I believe that's the right one.
Any other requests in your family for anything funeral related, whether they want
cremation? Yeah, my father said he wanted to be cremated. He's been saying that for years. He would like to be cremated, so
no, I'm not making no jokes. Cremated and then what?
That's all I
that's all I
know.
I'm not making no jokes. I'm not making no jokes. Let me be clear. No jokes. Anyway, but nobody else in your family. You and your sister. You got a young sister. Did she ever talk about? Like I know it's kind of a taboo thing, but y'all ever talk about funeral or death or anything like that?
No, we haven't.
No. Your mom said. Your mom said games.
Oh, see,
Games.
boy must not do the body right
What
there.
games?
You see, I knew it was
What,
okay. I knew it was one of the,
it's,
one of the popular
it's only three.
funeral
Yeah,
homes.
three popular ones. Yeah, exactly. In Cleveland. Um, any other people? Like I know you said you know it's your sister, but anybody else?
Yeah, that's yeah,
That's
that's
pretty
it.
much it. Mine said sometimes cremation costs more. It might cost more up front, but you can't tell me it costs more than a casket, a burial plot, and all that. Impossible. I'm calling shenanigans.
Tombstone. Tombstone gonna cost
Yeah,
more than
Tombstone. Yeah, Angel said basic $3,000. No. I don't know what I thought the price was going to be, but it wasn't 3,500. Let me do some searching real fast before we get out.
look. Well, why you search? I want to tell a little story. I had applied for a job to work at a funeral home at one point in time. And I'm just putting in jobs, you're Indeed, you just putting in, for whatever.
Mhm.
So, they contacted me and, was telling me about the job. And the job is basically you go in people's houses, you collect the body from the house, and it's kind of like basically a funeral home. Basically, I mean a funeral home. Basically, a funeral right there in this person's house.
Oh,
While you collect the body, and then you drive the body to the to the funeral home to get cremated, essentially.
but that was like I couldn't do that. I think I applied, or no, I've never applied, but I see the jobs and I think about it all the time. Because the only part I think about is driving the cars. All right, like so driving the casket or driving the family. I never think about the actual. You gotta pick the bodies up sometimes, and like I never applied, but I see them. I'm like, I probably could do that, but nothing. I don't want to. I don't want to do with the body. Like I don't want anything. I
Yeah.
don't want anything to do with the body.
See, I could do it if they died of natural causes in their house, but I couldn't be the coroner where, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna see some wild stuff, and you gotta pick that up. I had to pick this limb up over here and put it with the body that's over here next to the foot that's over there. Like I couldn't do that at all, you know.
Crazy.
But they get paid by the body, so you just sitting there chilling.
That's
You just
crazy.
waiting. You
Waiting
just
on the
waiting for
body.
this to happen. Like, oh, it's been a good week. Has it? Has it really been a good week? How?
All right. So let me see. So just a quick search, right? I didn't verify any of this information. Um, the cheapest way to be cremated is to have a direct cremation, known as a cremation without ceremony. A direct cremation is the cheapest ceremony because there is no funeral service or ceremony before the cremation. The average cost of a cremation in Ohio varies. Most families, this price rests between $1,000 and $3,000. This is just as of a year ago, December of 2021, and hold on, it was and back in 2020. It's an old article, but for reference, a basic cremation costs $625. Is what it said. Like I said, I haven't verified any of this. It's just a quick Google search. Um, and a different website says they offer direct cremation at the cost of $625. Um, Now, Angel, I know you used to live in a smaller town and stuff, so maybe that's why it's more. But $3,500 for a cremation? That's crazy. That's crazy.
I didn't like this is like special temperature you roasting me at, or
Because
like
hey,
what is what makes
put
it
me in
more?
put me in the smoker, man. Low and slow. All right, that's not funny. Not funny. Angel said, "Tiny tombstone that is flat to the ground is 18."
Like you wanted to put cherry, pellets in there. Why they smoking you? That's where the 3,500 come from. Like you can get cherry, you can get Jack Daniels, like whatever you want. It makes it $3,500.
Put me in there with the applewood, nigga. I'm trying to get some of that pecan. That hickory is pretty strong. Put me some of there. Oh my god, hilarious. Sorry. Angel said tiny tombstone that is flat to the ground is $1,800. My mom said you used to say buried in a pine box. Yeah, I think that's like the bare minimum. That's like for a body that's unclaimed. That's when like the county got to bury you. They just put you in the plywood. Angel said my last experience funerals cost $10K, at least $10,000. That's crazy. Is that for Angel? Let me ask you before we get out of here. Is that just the funeral part and not the burial plot, like the plot, or is that total? That's crazy. That's crazy. Tim says some people buy a casket to be burned in. That costs more. Just roll me in the drawer. Why would you buy a box to be burned in? Like that doesn't. Unless you go. That's where the 35 come from. Like nigga, make my box out of pecan wood. You know what I'm saying? Mesquite. Mesquite. Nigga, put me in there with the mesquites. And it said, I guess if you see death as a positive, it's not too bad. No. I see death as a positive, and spending money on death is the worst thing you could do. Like, I want the money to be spent on positive things like partying or making sure my people are straight, you know, so giving the kids a college fund or whatever the case is. But like, I think I see death as a positive, but not positively spending money on the funeral. That's crazy. Your mom said Bart wants to be cremated. I'm still on the fence if I want to be cremated. You want to nudge her one way or the other on the fence?
It's whatever you want, whatever your wishes are. But I would not honor a wish to have you, propped up like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
she want to work at U.S. Bank one more day. Put her behind her desk one more day.
Like never would I honor those wishes.
They just said they're going to charge you to handle the body. You put on the screen. They're going to charge you to handle the body. You also get embalmed, etc. That adds up. Why are you embalming me from being cremated? That doesn't make sense. Don't embalm me. Burn me with the hair and the skin and the organs. Just burn it all up, and then that'll be it.
I'm pretty sure that they cremate the body, immediately.
Yeah,
gets there, because that's why when that's why people, we're having a memorial service. You can't view the body; it's already been.
It's already gone. It's already gone.
And so let me ask you this: if you did want to be cremated, like, would you want to be like in a cedar urn or something?
Yes. I want the wood in my humidor to be taken out and remanufactured into an urn. Because I have 2 planks of cedar. Whatever I got in my humidor, just gather it around and throw it in the oven, and that'll be it. Everything in there. All the cigar stakes, the wooden things, and then you can have Then you can have the actual humidor. You got to buy some new shells though.
I'm cool with that.
You got a humidor. Angel said, then you get a cardboard box of ashes and pay for a nicer urn.
Cardboard box.
Why though? Like this. I don't get it. I wouldn't pay for none of this stuff. Look, my original wish is to be donated to science. Like y'all don't even got to do anything with it. But I've been told no by everybody in my family, so I'm assuming I'm getting cremated. But y'all can just drop me off a case and then have a fake. Just buy an urn off Amazon for like $60 or something, and go to the bar, have some drinks, play my 5 songs, and then that'd be it.
It's gonna end up like your leg gonna end up in a high school classroom.
That's cool. That's cool. Look how resilient his black skin is, even after it's been dead for 6 months. It's an amazing thing. It's a scientific anomaly.
Look, when I heard that was going on in biology class, I literally had to go down and like see. Was it really I peeked in? It was really a leg. Just
yeah. I wouldn't have did that. I cut open a frog, I think, but I wouldn't. They were like, it's a human body in there. Like, I don't like science that much anymore. Like, I quit science.
The smell of the rats is.
Oh, fuck that. Yeah, nobody. Look, they were like, oh, you gotta wear gloves. Nobody talks about the smell of a. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, that's one of the instances I wish I went to public school because they're not cutting.
At private school, y'all got money for human cadavers. You know what I'm saying? Y'all get a body every year and just chop them up. Tim said, make some jerky, low and slow, turn every 4 hours. That's it. That's why it costs so much. Yo, I got some bacon in my smoker right now. It's been there for like an hour and a half. And it won't be jerky, but it'll be some nice, slow-cooked cherry wood, a little brown sugar barbecue seasoning. It's going to be good. Angel said,
what's going to be good? You got to clarify. What?
Bacon. No, I said it's bacon. It's bacon. Bacon, brown sugar, barbecue seasoning, and it's been smoking for about an hour and a half. We got like another hour to go, and then chop it up. Some nice candied bacon. It's gonna be good. Angel said you can request not to be if you don't leave state lines. Yeah. I'm putting on. We got to write all this stuff down. Your mom said y'all got jokes. None of that. Hey, she want to be in Shaker Square one more time. She want to be a teller. Like she want to take the way back and be a teller one last time. Just to get it out of her system.
You're in the funeral. You just look up and somebody just get out the pew and try to do a withdrawal.
She want to have. I want to say she want to have it at the bank, like where you walk up like, I feel sorry for the family. Let me withdraw like 20, maybe $50, man. Give it to the family or something. Since I'm here, you mind sending this to Wells Fargo? I just want to pay this bill real quick since I'm here. She said, hell no.
I'm like, do you want to know your balance on the back of the? No.
Yeah.
Give me just one last time.
We can write your balance on the back of the obituary if you want. Like, is that okay? Or
like, no, please, no.
That's hilarious. My mom said, "What is your 5 songs again?" I don't think I ever tell you or any. Well, I told there's one person that's responsible. Antonio's responsible for playing the 5 songs. And if he died before I do it, then he got 5 songs that he won't play. And then I had to pass mine on to somebody else, whatever. Did I ever tell you the 5 songs?
Yeah, you did. It was about 2, at least 2 Scarface songs was in there.
Gotta have 2. Absolutely. That's easy. So now 4 songs is solidified, right? Number 5 is like, depending on how I'm feeling. I feel really good. Like if I went right now, I feel really good with these 5. Number 5 usually turns a little bit, but I think this might be the permanent 5. All right, so the first song, in order, by the way. Play them in order. So the first song is "Never" by Scarface. You don't. If you don't. By the way, if you don't know these songs, you should go listen to them. They're amazing. "Never" by Scarface. Right. It's my introduction song. It's a line for another episode or whatever. But like if somebody walked up to you and was like, play me one song that like I got 3 minutes to find out who you are as a person. Play me one song. Like, you got a song for that? It took you too long. That's too long. So what I'm saying is you should find out whatever that song is for you. But anyway, "Never" will be that song for me, right? The number 2 would be "This Can't Be Life." That's a Jay-Z, Benny Siegel, Scarface song. A very reflective song. Number
Press
3.
the song for the funeral to get people to almost tears, huh?
Yeah. I crank you back up though. Pause. Number 3 is "Bury Me a G" by Young Jeezy. Right. So that brings that's gonna bring you back up. And then number 4, which this song could have been on there twice by itself, is "My Type" by T.I. First time I heard it, I'm like, this song is going to be a part of my life forever. And then I never knew this before I even made a funeral list, but "My Type" by T.I. Like I said, all these songs, you should go listen to them if you never heard them. Then my number 5, that kind of switches in and out, but I feel really good about this one, is "Beach Chair" by Jay-Z and Chris Martin, right? So Beach Chair is going to really leave y'all on like a great, boy, y'all going to leave there feeling inspired damn near. You know what I'm saying? Y'all going to go out there and make the world a better place after listening to Beach Chair. So that's my 5 songs. If you haven't listened to these songs before, you should go listen to it. "Never" by Scarface. "This Can't Be Life" by Jay-Z, Benny Siegel, Scarface. "Bury Me a G" by Young Jeezy. "My Type" by T.I. and "Beach Chair" by Jay-Z. That's the playlist. Y'all got 5 songs. And if you can't make any of these 5 songs, then you never liked me in the first place. What I'm telling them to tell y'all.
I bought a car that had a Scarface CD in CD player, and you know what CD it was? The one with "Never" on it.
It's a great it's a great car. I'm sure you never had any issues with that car. All right, man. Any closing comments? Anything?
This was a good show. Try to make it not so depressing. But just make sure you got your affairs in order. Tell people what you want. Because I'm very sure you don't want to be looking goofy when it comes to your funeral. You know, you don't want that last impression of people to be, you know, why did he have vegan food at the repast? Or, you know, why did he have, you know, someone who can't sing, you know, at his funeral? Like, you don't want any of those things. You want to have something where you don't even care what people think about it, just as long as it's done. You know? So other than that, it's a good show once again. You know, thank everybody for tuning in. You know, any last remarks from you before we get out of here?
Just to reiterate, man, we appreciate y'all for 2022. I know it ain't over. We still got more shows to do. As Top Fan Angel pointed out, we still got to do our wrap up and resolutions for the next year coming up. So be on the lookout for that either next week or in 2 weeks. We'll do that. Whatever show, whenever we do that, y'all know that's the last show for the season. So we appreciate y'all, you know, saying so far for all the numbers and stuff I went over at the beginning of the show. If you didn't see that, please go back. We did some pretty good stuff. We had a pretty successful event this year, and even though we were lower on the number of shows, the content I feel like was still pretty good quality. So just want to appreciate y'all as always. Hey, feel free to go listen to my funeral playlist. It's not shared nowhere, but I told y'all the songs, so go check it out. and possibly think about curating your own funeral playlist. It's not a negative thing; it's a celebration thing. So think about it like that. But make sure your affairs are in order. Write your will. Even if you record it, that'll help. Having a trust is the top way to go. So your family don't have to go to court for any of your stuff when you got a house or whatever. Other than that, man, just be safe and have a good week. And looking forward to talking to y'all continuously throughout the rest of this year and on to next year, as always. Like, can't get enough of y'all. With that being said, I'm gonna get out of here. Hey, Tim, you're a funny dude, man. He's just a funny guy. All right, man. So we out of here. Salute to the city as always. Y'all be safe. We'll talk to y'all soon.
And remember to own your own and write your wills.
It's important. We out. Be safe.
Remember to own your own.
And salute to the city as always.
Remember to own your own.
Salute to the city as always.
And remember to own your own.
And salute to the city as always.
Remember to own your own. We'll see y'all next week. Remember to own your own. It's very important, like I say every show.
Salute to the city as always. Salute to the city.
Remember to own your own. Now,
as always, salute to the city. And salute to the city.
Remember to own your own.
Salute to the city as always.
But remember to own your own.
Salute to the city as always.
Remember to own your own.
Salute to the city as always. Salute to the city as always.
Remember to own your own.
To the city as always.
Yep, and remember to own your own. Remember to own your own.
Salute to the city as always. Salute to the city as always.
Remember to own your own.
Salute to the city as always.
And remember to own your own.
Salute to the city as always.
Yeah, remember to own your own. And remember to own your own.
Salute to the city.
Remember to own your own.
Salute to the city as always. Salute to the city as always.
Remember to own your own.
Salute to the city, man. Regina, I know you said you couldn't hear it. And I know you listened to it before or whatever. The audio is bad. Like, we were the rookies at the time. But don't forget who started this podcast trend in the world. We did it. Everybody else did it. Before Dave Chappelle did it. Before Joe Rogan. Don't forget who did it. Don't forget that. Who did this podcast and stuff before anybody else. Give it a close-up. Don't forget who started this podcast shit. No,
and remember to own your own.
Hilarious. We out here. Be safe, y'all.